Hello everyone and welcome back. Now in this video we are going to have a look at a single line diagram of a hybrid substation. So we have 33 kV GIS installed in this substation, and also along with that we have 11 kV indoor AIS installed. So AIS panels are there, and we are going to have a look at the single line diagram for both this type of panels, AIS and GIS. And as we have learned in the single line diagram masterclass course, we will be using the 5 simple steps to read and understand the single line diagram. Now, single line diagram masterclass provides a structured and very easy way to learn the single line diagrams. You will understand how to learn and how to read the single line diagram. So we'll use those 5 principles to read and understand this SLD. So as per our course, the first step is to know the drawing context. So for that, we have to understand what is the voltage rating, what is the title block, drawing revision numbers and things like that. So we will check if we have anything like that here. So title blocks are generally placed at the bottom, but unfortunately for this drawing, we do not have any title block or any information, symbol used information mentioned. But you can see on top we have a detail where it says it's a 2 into 5 or 8 MVA transformer base, 33 by 11 kV GIS indoor substation. Now in that we have 33 kV GIS indoor and 11 kV AIS indoor. So 33 kV we are using GIS panels, 11 kV we are using AIS panels. So that's our step number 1, understand the drawing context. And moving on, the step number 2 is to identify the power flow. Now, this is very crucial to know, because in that way you will have clear idea, clear way or clear flow that you need to follow in order to understand that. So let us have a look at on our single line diagram. So as you can see here, it is clearly mentioned we have 33 kV incomer 1 and incomer 2. So that means this is our incomer, this is our power flow, and power will flow from top to bottom. And if you go to the bottom, you see we have 11 kV feeders. So power is going out. So we are now clear with the power flow. So the step 2 is done. Now step 3 is where we have to go through each of the equipment as per the power flow directions to understand what equipment we have used and their details. So let us follow that. So here is our incomer, and this part is basically the outdoor part, because you can see H pole DP. So this is basically the H pole distribution pole structure that you see outdoor. It is that. Here we have used a lightning arrestor. So in case of some lightning strokes, that will be grounded with the help of lightning arrestor. And then we have a 33 kV isolator. Rating is mentioned as 1250 ampere, which is the continuous current rating, 25 kiloampere for 3 seconds. Now please note, this is the current carrying capacity of the isolator, short circuit current carrying capacity. It's not the breaking current, because isolator is an offload device. They do not have any capabilities of breaking any sort of current. So it's just the current carrying capacity that is mentioned. Even 1250 amps and 25 kiloampere for 3 seconds is the current carrying capacity, which is connected to earth for sure. And then you can see from there we have taken a line which is 35 square mm underground cable, and it is given to another distribution pole. And on that distribution pole we have 33 kV air brake switch, which is 200 ampere, 25 kiloampere for 3 seconds. Again, short circuiting capacity. A fuse is also used. Again, one more lightning arrestor, because we are connecting transformer, so that must be protected. And then we have 100 kVA 33 by 0.433 kV, which is 430 volts station transformer. So you can say this is an auxiliary transformer, and from there we'll give supply to substation for their auxiliaries, maybe lights, ventilation systems. That supply will be taken from this particular transformer. Clear? We are still outside. We are still we haven't entered the room yet, and now we'll do that. So after the isolator, you can see we have now entered into the room. So this is a 33 kV indoor GIS room, you can see, and these are all panels that we have. So first we see 33 kV disconnector. Now here the rating is 630 ampere, that is the continuous current carrying capacity. And then we have a 33 kV current transformer as well. And the ratings, you can see it is mentioned as 400 by 200 ampere. And there are 3 cores. How you can know that? Because you see 1 1 1. So we have secondary current mentioned 3 times, and secondary current is 1 ampere. Primary current could be 400 or 200 depending on the tap setting. So it's a 3 core current transformer that they are using, and they have also given the use for that, meter, spares, so that is mentioned. And after that you can see a 33 kV vacuum circuit breaker is used, which is 630 ampere and 25 kiloampere for 3 seconds. Now for circuit breaker, this 25 kiloampere is the breaking current. Circuit breaker is capable to break 25 kiloampere before 3 seconds. They do it within milliseconds, so not a problem there. And from there you can see it is connected to a 33 kV bus bar that will be inside the panels. And if you see incomer 2, it's identical to that of the incomer 1. So even if we study the one bay, the another bay will be easy for us to understand. It's perfectly identical with each other. You can see we have also connected inductive voltage transformer here, IVT, and it is a 2-core inductive voltage transformer. Again, how you can identify that? You can see the details are mentioned here. So primary side we have 33 by root 3 kV because it's a single phase device, and then at the secondary side we have 110 by root 3 and 110 by root 3. One will be used for protection, another one will be used for metering purpose. So we have 2 cores. Now if you find it difficult to understand this accuracy classes of CTs, CVTs, IVTs, what is the purpose of having separate protection and metering cores, then I have talked about it in a dedicated video. I'll put link for that video down in the description. You can go and check it out. So after the bus, you can see we also have 2 feeder panels here. So this will be our 2 incomer panels, and this is our feeder panel 1 and 2. So again, to the feeder panel, we are starting with 33 kV vacuum circuit breaker. Again, the rating is same. Again, a 3-core current transformer, rating is same, 400 by 200 and 1 ampere as the secondary output. And then we have 33 kV disconnector here with 1 earthing switch, which is rated at 630 ampere. And you see the another bay, another feeder is also identical to what we discussed. And then that's the end of this switchgear room here. After that, you can see again we are going outside. Again we have a distribution pole here. First we are starting with lightning arrestor, because if lightning stroke happens, we need something that will help us with that. And then we have here a transformer. It will be an outdoor transformer, can be 5 or 8 MVA, power transformer, and the winding configuration you can see here. It's a delta star transformer. Okay, this is very important that you understand it. And to the secondary side, which is star connected, we have also connected a neutral current transformer, NCT, that you can see here. This is the symbol. And again, after the transformer, we have one more lightning arrestor. And from that, now we are entering into the 11 kV side, because this transformer will step down 33 kV to 11 kV. So with 11 kV, we are entering into the indoor switchgear, which is AIS type, you can see. And the first device that you see is differential protection and metering, and basically the current transformer. So again, it's 11 kV CT, ratings are same, 400 by 200. And again, we have 3 cores, output as 1 ampere. And then you can see 11 kV vacuum circuit breaker is used, and on both the sides of the bus bar we have IVT, again with 2 cores. One will be used for protection, another will be used for metering. This side also you will see the same thing, and this is also the same panel. So we have 2 incomer panel, identical incomer panel. Now one important thing, if you notice here, for 33 kV, I'll just go up. While 33 kV, we had a 33 kV disconnector used. But if you scroll down and check out the 11 kV, which is AIS panel, we do not have the disconnector. Now, why is that? I'll give that reason to you at the end of the video. Okay, so this is incomer panels. And then if we go, we have 4 different feeder panels and 1 bus coupler panel here. So let us first have a look at the feeder panel. So feeder panel is, we have first circuit breaker, 11 kV VCB, 630 ampere, 25 kiloampere for 3 seconds. Again, a 3-core 11 kV current transformer. And after that, it is going out and there we have 11 kV isolator used, 1250 amps, 25 kiloampere for 3 seconds. And then we have distribution pole. Again, the first thing is lightning arrestor, and from there it will go to maybe some other substation, to some load, or maybe to other incomer panel somewhere. And you see all these 4 feeder panels are basically identical. There is absolutely no difference in them. The current transformer, the VCB rating, isolators are perfectly same, and everywhere we have used lightning arrestor as well. And one important panel is also the bus coupler panel, where we have used a vacuum circuit breaker here. So let's say this transformer fails. Okay, now we are not getting supply. So all these 2 feeders will be affected because of that, right? Because we are not getting any supply from this transformer here. So what we can do in that situation, we will open this circuit breaker here and we'll close the bus coupler breaker that we have. All right, now the moment we close the breaker, the power will start flowing like this. So bus bar is now live, and from this, so basically from transformer 2, we are supplying the load which was connected previously to transformer 1. And that is where the bus coupler panel comes into picture, when you have to connect 2 different sources, not at the same time, but when one supply fails. The other way is also possible. So that is the use of bus coupler panel. Now the next step number 4, is to locate and identify the metering and protection details. Now, while going through each and every equipment, we saw we have used CTs, we have used PTs, and their core details and what is the purpose of that core is also mentioned. We saw protection, metering, differential protection was given in that. So it is important that you note those details. Also, many of the single line diagrams will directly mention the connections of CTs and PTs going to which type of protection. So they will add the ANSI code for that, ANSI codes, right? So it is very important that you also check those, and that will mark the step number 4 as completed. Then the final step is step number 5, which is about understanding the nodes and future arrangement for the particular substation. Now in this single line diagram, there is no nodes or no future arrangements were mentioned. So you can skip those steps for this particular diagram. But for many of the diagram, you will find a dedicated node section is given at the bottom of the diagram. Now that generally gives the assumptions made while preparing the drawings and other details. So it's very important that you understand. Also, many diagrams will show the future bay arrangement. So they'll keep some space for considering the future expansion. So that arrangement is also mentioned with the help of dotted lines in the single line diagram. But in this particular one, it's not mentioned. So there is no future arrangement or nothing, anything like that. So with those 5 steps, if you follow these steps step by step, then you will be able to understand and read the single line diagram in a systematic way. Now, everything we discussed, the question is, why there is no isolator used in the 11 kV AIS type switchgear here? Whereas if we see the 33 kV, we have a dedicated disconnector that is being used, right? The reason is GIS is, a tank. Everything is placed inside a tank and circuit breakers are fixed. You cannot remove the circuit breaker. And in order to achieve the isolating distance for the safe operation, you need to provide a dedicated disconnector there. But if we talk about AIS, in AIS switchgear, we have an option of a withdrawable circuit breaker, a circuit breaker that you can remove from the panel when needed and put it back when you need it, right? So IEC says, and this is standard, okay, approved by standard as well. The IEC says when you remove the circuit breaker from the panel, it provides the required isolating distance. So in that case, we can definitely skip the isolator, because the circuit breaker, withdrawable circuit breaker, is doing the job of isolator as well. And that's why now it is not clearly mentioned here whether it's a withdrawable type or not, and the symbol also do not specify that, because for withdrawable type we have a dedicated symbol. We discussed that in the SLD masterclass course. So that is also not clear, but 99% chance is that it will be a withdrawable type circuit breaker, and that's why there is no isolator is used. Clear? So that is the overview of 33 by 11 kV hybrid substation, where we saw we had 33 kV panels with GIS and 11 kV panels with AIS. I hope you have understood the single line diagram. And if you're interested in learning more about single line diagrams, I have a dedicated playlist on that. You can go and check that out. I also have a dedicated course which talks in a very structured way how to read and understand the single line diagram. Link for that also I'll provide down in the description. Definitely go and check it out. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. But till then, keep watching, keep learning.